Wait, are you way smarter than people think? You might be showing signs of genius without even realizing it. From messy desks to dark humor, if you relate to any of these quirks, there's a good chance your brain is firing on a different level. And number one, it's a hidden superpower most people miss entirely. Let's dive in. You ever look at your desk and think, wow, did a tornado hit this? Papers everywhere, half empty coffee cups, maybe a banana peel you don't remember bringing. What looks like chaos to others might be a clear sign of a creative powerhouse at work. Albert Einstein had a famously messy desk. When someone once asked him what a cluttered desk says about a person, he replied, "If a cluttered desk is the sign of a cluttered mind, then what does an empty desk signify?" Studies back him up. Researchers from the University of Minnesota found that people in disorderly environments came up with more original, imaginative ideas than those in pristine, tidy rooms. Clean spaces lead to safe solutions. Traditional thinking. But clutter invites randomness, and randomness sparks fresh thinking. When your brain sees a stapler beside a seashell and a dinosaur sticker, it starts making weird connections. New ideas are born from that kind of chaos. A neat space might soothe your nerves, but a messy one challenges your brain. So if your desk looks like an archaeological dig, don't worry. That might just be what creativity looks like in progress. Ever laughed at a joke no one else found funny? Because it was a little dark? That could be a sign of high-level intelligence, not poor taste. Dark humor isn't just edgy. It's mentally complex. To get it, your brain has to juggle multiple layers of meaning. It's got to interpret the literal situation, recognize the twisted or tragic element, and then reframe it as something funny. That's abstract thinking in action. A study published in Cognitive Processing found that people who appreciated dark humor scored higher on intelligence tests, and surprisingly, they also showed lower levels of aggression and had more stable moods. So what looks like inappropriate laughter might actually be your brain playing a high-level game, dissecting a bleak scenario and finding the irony hidden inside. Anyone can laugh at a knock-knock joke, but it takes a clever, resilient mind to find humor in the uncomfortable stuff. It's not cold. It's cognitively advanced. Do you ever walk away from a conversation and replay every word you said? Embarrass yourself over something no one noticed? Lie awake at night running through dozens of what ifs? You might just be a worrier, but also, possibly, a genius in disguise. Scientists have found a strong connection between anxiety and higher intelligence. Why? Because smart people tend to imagine more scenarios, especially negative ones. Their brains are wired to predict outcomes, both good and bad, more vividly. This kind of mental simulation is exhausting, but it exists for a reason. In human history, the ones who overthought danger were more likely to survive. They saw threats before others did. Modern brains do something similar, predicting social fallout, career risks, even emotional landmines. If your brain never shuts up, it might not be broken. It might just be extremely good at running high-level analytics, constantly scanning for best and worst-case outcomes. It's not fun, but it's brilliant. You're sitting in a long meeting. Your hand starts doodling. Lines turn to shapes, shapes into little worlds. It feels mindless, but you're surprisingly focused. That's not just passing time. It's your brain staying awake. Psychologist Jackie Andrade discovered that doodlers retain nearly 30% more information than people who just sat and listened. Doodling gives your brain just enough stimulation to avoid daydreaming, without distracting you from the task. It keeps you locked in through kinetic engagement. Author Suni Brown even calls it deep thinking in disguise. Swirls and stick figures might look like distraction, but they're actually tools. Your pen is grounding your attention, helping you process information across visual, verbal, and physical channels. So if your margins are full of little faces or dragons, don't stop. Your brain might be unlocking complex data while drawing cats and hats. People love to praise early birds. Society says success starts at 5 a.m. But what if your brain switches on at midnight? Studies continue to link night owls with higher intelligence, creative thinking, and nonconformity. Night owls tend to prefer solitude, deep focus, and unstructured thought, conditions perfect for innovation. One study found that evening types scored higher on reasoning skills and abstract thinking. Another revealed that medical students who leaned toward late night hours performed better on complex problem solving. It's not just energy, it's freedom. The late night world is quiet, still, undisturbed. No emails, no small talk. Just you, your thoughts, and space to explore them. If your best ideas come when everyone else is asleep, don't fight it. That's how some people are wired to do their best work. Your brain isn't broken, it's just beautifully offbeat. Daydreamer. Ever find yourself softly whispering your thoughts while solving a tough problem? That's not weird, it's wildly effective. Self-talk helps your brain focus, plan, and regulate emotions. You're directing your own mind, like a coach talking you through a workout. Whether it's, okay, next step is, or I've got this, what you say affects what you think. Research shows that people who engage in self-directed speech perform better on tasks that require concentration and decision-making. It's like externalizing memory, thinking aloud for clarity. And it's not just about logistics. It boosts resilience. That pep talk you give yourself mid-struggle, that's emotional intelligence in action. Highly intelligent people often develop rich internal dialogue. They don't just think, they narrate, strategize, problem solve out loud. It isn't rambling, it's precision thinking in motion. Ever been called lazy for figuring out the easiest way to do something and finishing it faster than everyone else? That's not laziness, it's efficiency. Bill Gates once said, I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because they'll find the easiest way to do it. It's not about avoiding effort, it's about minimizing waste. Intelligent laziness isn't sitting around. It's looking at a complex task and asking, what's the smartest way to get this done with the least resistance? It requires creativity, vision, and problem solving. One study even found that people who enjoy thoughtful activity tend to be less physically active, not because they're lazier, but because they're content thinking, sitting still, optimizing systems in their mind. So if you constantly find shortcuts, automate routines, or avoid unnecessary work without compromising results, congratulations. Your laziness might just be genius in disguise. Have you ever questioned a rule that seemed pointless? Or wondered out loud why everyone just follows it without thinking? That insatiable curiosity is a trait common in highly intelligent people. You're not wired to obey. You're wired to understand. Innovation starts with skepticism. When someone says, that's just how it's done, smart brains ask, but is that really the best way? Throughout history, breakthroughs came from rule breakers, people who challenged norms instead of inheriting them, like Dr. Ignaz Semmelweis, who insisted doctors wash their hands before delivering babies, and was mocked for it. Years later, germ theory proved him right. Asking better questions isn't disruptive, it's visionary. So if you're always playing devil's advocate, challenging assumptions, or flipping problems upside down, that's not troublemaking. That's your intelligence refusing to settle. You know that feeling when you just get something? You see a pattern before anyone points it out. Catch a lie in someone's voice. Predict what's coming based on what's not being said. That's pattern recognition in action. One of the deepest forms of intelligence. It's your mind making sense of scattered data, silently connecting the dots. Whether it's decoding body language, reading emotional undercurrents, or guessing the ending of a show from the first 5 minutes, your brain is solving invisible puzzles constantly. Even instinct is often unconscious pattern recognition you've developed over time. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "To recognize patterns is to see what others do not." That's not magic. That's what your brain does when it's fully awake, absorbing, analyzing, and anticipating life as it unfolds. But the most powerful sign of all, when your brain effortlessly connects two things that seem totally unrelated and turns them into something new. That strange moment when a random object reminds you of an idea. When your mind links a childhood memory with a tech solution. Or when you dream up a new concept just by watching the world. This is creativity at its highest level. When your intelligence works unseen, below the surface, linking the unthinkable. Steve Jobs once said, "Creativity is just connecting things." And people with unusually high intelligence can't help but do it. Random things. Click. Disconnected thoughts. Fuse. That moment of insight. That's your brain showing off. So maybe your quirks aren't flaws. They're features. Markers of a mind that sees what others don't. Thinks what others won't. You don't need to act smart. Your brain is already doing the heavy lifting. Stay weird. Stay curious. And don't forget to subscribe for more surprising science about the mind you didn't know you had.